Hi, everyone. I'm Pastor Michael Ozaki, and this is a Pause for Peace, what we're calling our rebellion against the chaos of the Christmas season with a bit of silence, rest, and art. You may have noticed that I'm dressed a little bit different today, and that's because I want us to think about this idea of Sabbath. For the ancient Hebrew people, Sabbath, it wasn't just a day off. It wasn't a reward for a week of working, and it wasn't meant to help them be better workers on the rest of the days that came afterwards. No, Sabbath was one of the main things that defined them as something different than all the great empires that surrounded them. Their animating story was the story of a God who created all things, and the pinnacle of that creation was rest, was Sabbath itself. Sabbath is the thing that actually gave the rest of creation meaning and purpose and value. For them, Sabbath was the difference between being slaves in Egypt and being a free people guided by a God of liberation. And these are ancient ideas, but they're also probably some of the most contemporary ones we could possibly do. Because in our modern times, don't we need rest more than anything? Don't we need more of a sense of a rhythm to creation and life and our minds? Aren't we all actually really exhausted by a constant grind and endless input? Even when we are finished with our day's work, we are still being screamed at by our screens, by our lives. And isn't it really starting to weigh on us? Sabbath. Perhaps what we need more than ever is a Sabbath rhythm to ourselves. A chance to stop and just be. Just be human. Just be present. Just be here and now. And let that be enough. Hi, everyone. You may have noticed that I am dressed a little bit different today. And that's because I want us to talk about this idea of Sabbath. Now, you have to understand that for the ancient Hebrews, Sabbath wasn't just a nice break from work. It wasn't just a day off. It was central to who they were as God's people. It is one of the main things that separated them from all of the empires that surrounded them. It changed the way they thought, the way they saw the world. Instead of just assuming that the point of life is production and consumption, instead of being pulled forward by this idea that we need to make more stuff so that we can consume more stuff, there was this sense. There were these stories that told them that there is a God, and as that God created, the pinnacle of that creation is Sabbath, is rest, is the doing of nothing and simply being. And then there was the story of them as slaves in an empire in which their only value was what they could make and what they could help others consume. And their central story is about a God who pulls them out of that kind of living, out into a wilderness, and gives them a law in which Sabbath must be upheld. It spoke to them about the idea of what it is to be human in the world. One of the things that creation story suggested to them is that to simply be is enough. To live, to breathe, to share time and experiences with those around you, that is life. And the doing is necessary. The work absolutely must be done, and it is good, but it's not a good in and of itself. But Sabbath is good before anything else happens. It's where life happens. Think of it this way, like a room in your home. Sure, lots of time and energy and effort and money went into creating those walls, to getting them straight and strong and looking good. But in the end, those walls are completely pointless without the empty space in the middle. Life happens in the empty space that it creates. That is Sabbath. And I think that these ancient ideas are more relevant now than ever. At a time when we can work and create more, faster, and easier than ever before, it hasn't led to more rest. What it's led is just to more consumption and grinding. How many of us are more exhausted than ever before? Or how about an ecology that is getting used up and sucked dry and destroyed before our very eyes, and we can't seem to make it stop? With empire thinking, you can't stop. Because if you do, your point, your good, your value goes away too. But even in the midst of this, the scriptures speak. They speak a kingdom way of understanding the world and you. And maybe what this world needs, maybe what you need, isn't to find a way to do things better and faster, but to do less, slower, with more rhythm and purpose and intention. Maybe what we need is more Sabbath to guide the rest of what we do. And so with that in mind, let us enter into our releasing breaths. I invite you to get yourself into a posture of comfort but awareness. Close your eyes and repeat this bit of psalm with me. And when you hear the bell, imagine that it is an invitation for you to put down everything you don't need to be holding, just as the sound drifts away. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know. Be still. Be. We all know the feeling. The shaky ground, sinking sand, water is rising, sun is fading feeling. That makes steady breathing an entire miracle, and holding back tears a marvel in and of itself. And when those days come, I call my parents, and I call my church, and I call my friends. And they say in unison what God has said from the very beginning, which is, come on home. Is there anything more healing than an open door? If you're seeking sanctuary, if the waters are rising, listen. It may be hard to hear, but God is always saying, come on home. As usual, we're going to put a piece of art up on the screen, and I invite you to look at it deeply. What do you notice?
Describe the way I've been feeling.
What does it make you think of?
Everything altered.
If a thought or a word comes into your mind, I invite you to hold on to it and see wherever else it might take you.
To find some magical sign, the key to my deepest desire, the home that my body is left. I've waited on the fig trees, despite the lovely leaves, to no avail.
Once again, thank you for being here with us. And as usual, if anything came up for you in this time, I would love to hear about it. I'm going to put my contact information right down here and invite you to let me know. Or if you need to get anything off of your chest or just need a listening ear, I would love to be that for you as well. Feel free to get hold of me. Next week is the last week of Advent, believe it or not. And so it'll be our last week for Pause for Peace. Both these video versions and our in-person meetings on Wednesdays at noon here at First Presbyterian Church, Crookston. I invite you to join us. And now I invite you into one last contemplative moment with this music video from the people over at Sanctified Art. Enjoy, and I'll see you all next week.
I can't describe the way I've been feeling. Everything all turned around inside my head. Longing to find some magical sign, the key to my deepest desire, the home that my body is left. I've waited on the fig trees, despite the lovely leaves, to no avail. I've tried to find my voice like Zachariah, but it comes out weak and pale. Can we build a place for all the lost who long to be held inside the arms of love, the joy that sets us free? Maybe I'm on my own, but wherever you are, I am home. One night, it seems like a lifetime ago, some travelers far from their home searched for a room and a bed. Snow fell against the light of a star. Without any offer or invite, he came to give life to the dead. Can you imagine all the weight of all of the world, yet no one welcomes you in? You cast away and cast aside, are dear to you, you cherish us just as we can. We can build a place for all the lost who long to be held inside your arms of love, the joy that sets us free. How are we ever alone? Wherever you are, we are home. Everything all turned around inside my head.